Welcome, good students, and this is English Language A, Paper 2, Poetry and Prose Text. In this episode, we'll be looking into one of the fiction texts, that is The Necklace by Guy de Maupassant. Welcome. After you've successfully read the text, you'll be examined. This is an exam-style question. Remind yourself of the necklace from the Edexcel Anthology, which is printed on the insert provided. It will be provided, and then answer question 1. And question 1 will go something like this. How does the writer, especially in this particular text, how does the writer present the characters in the story? How does the writer present the characters in the story? In your answer, you should write about Madame Loisel, Monsieur Loisel, Madame Forestier, and also the use of language. You should refer closely to the text to support your answer. You may use brief quotations. The question goes for 30 marks. So good students, brace yourself, because I am going to take you through the presentations of all those 3 characters. Have they been presented? And finally, the use of language for effect. Madame Loisel. She is unhappy at the start of the story, and I quote, made unhappy by the rundown apartment that her dreams do not match with reality. Her dreams of luxurious lifestyle is at odds with her modest surroundings. Madame Loisel feels unpopular and unwanted. She would have given anything to be popular, envied, attractive, and, of course, in demand. She is made unhappy after visits to her rich friend Madame Forestia. She was always so unhappy afterwards, sometimes for days on end. She would weep tears of sorrow, regret, despair, and anguish. She is ambitious and concerned with social status. She dreamed of silent antechambers. She dreamed of great drawing rooms. She is disdainful, dismissive, and petulant, and on receiving the invitation, she tossed the invitation pavishly onto the table and muttered. She looked at him irritably and said shortly, she is manipulative, that is Madame Loisel, she is manipulative and calculating. And I quote from the text, she thought for a few moments, working out her sums, but also wondering how much she could decently ask for without drawing immediate refusal and pained protest from her husband, who was careful with his money. She takes frivolous delight in her success at the reception. She danced ecstatically, wildly, intoxicated with pleasure, giving no thought to anything else, swept along in her victorious beauty and glorious success. Although Madame Loisel appears to have been a success at the reception, her dreams are not quite fulfilled. A commonplace coat violently at odds with the elegance of her dress, it brought her down to earth. Madame Loisel feels desperate, which places a strain on her mental health. She waited for him all day long in the same distracted condition, thinking of the appalling catastrophe which had befallen them. She is transformed into a working class housewife. She had turned into the battling, hard, uncouth housewife who rules working class homes rather. Her hair was untidy, her skirts were askew, and her hands were red until the end of the story. She, along with the reader, is unaware that the sacrifice has been for nothing, and she smiled a proud, innocent smile. Monsieur Loisel. Monsieur Loisel seems content at the start of the story, declared delightedly, looking highly pleased with himself, despite not wanting to spend his money. Monsieur Loisel is prepared to give up his savings to please Madame Loisel, and I quote, careful with his money. I'll give you your 400 francs. Monsieur Loisel is shown to be upset when he cannot please his wife, disconcerted rather, and dismayed, and also devastated. Monsieur Loisel seems less interested in the reception than his wife's. Since midnight, her husband had been dozing in a small, empty side. Monsieur Loisel shares his wife's feelings of vulnerability when they cannot get a cab. At first, they walked down to the scene in desperation, shivering with the cold rather. Monsieur Loisel shares his wife's feeling of sadness. Even before they discover the necklace is lost, they walked sadly up to their apartment. For her, it was all over, while he was thinking that he would have to be at the ministry at 10. Monsieur Loisel searches desperately for the necklace, tried anywhere where the faintest of hopes led him. Monsieur Loisel's health is affected by the loss of the necklace. Hollow-cheeked and very pale, aged 5 years, sick with worry about the future, with all the prospect of the physical privation and mental torture ahead. Monsieur Loisel is forced to take an additional manual work to pay their debts. Her husband worked in the evening doing accounts for a shopkeeper and quite frequently sat up into the early hours doing copying work at 5 souls a page. Madame Forestier. Madame Forestier is first introduced in the story as a contrast to Madame Loisel. She had a friend who was rich and whom she seldom called her now, for she was always so unhappy afterwards. Madame Forestier is close enough to Madame Loisel to be approached to borrow some jewelry. You know her well enough for that. Madame Forestier seems generous. Choose whatever you like. That's a quote from the text. Yes, of course. Just look. Towards the end of the story, Madame Forestier's appearance is contrasted with that of Madame Loisel, still young, still beautiful, and still attractive. Madame Forestier is not used to encounters such as one with the transformed Madame Loisel, and she is shocked by her appearance. The friend did not recognize her and was taken aback. But my poor Mathilde, how you've changed! Madame Forestier's questions show that she is confused and aware of the importance of the necklace to Madame Loisel. On my account, whatever you do, you mean? Yes, what about it? Lost it. You mean you bought a diamond necklace to replace mine? Madame Forestier is sympathetic. Madame Forestier looked very upset. The use of language in the text. Use of negative emotive language: unhappy, sad, no dowry, no expectations, no means of meeting, tears of sorrow, regret, despair and anguish, sadly, disconsolately. The central irony of the story, but it was only an imitation necklace. The author intervenes in the narrative to help point out the moral of the story. Life is so strange, so fickle. How little is needed to make or break us. There is the use of pathetic fallacy in the text: empty grate, her mind a blank. There is also the use of language associated with social status, which is prevalent throughout the story, including in this simile: I looked like a church mouse. There's use of imagery to depict contrast between wealth and poverty, which is used throughout the story. Many examples of images suggesting opulence rather. Many examples of images suggestive of modest, humble, or poor social status. There's also use of dialogue, which serves several purposes. Among other things, is it shows strain on the relationship between Madame and Monsieur Loisel, which highlights the social concerns of the story and demonstrates the financial irony at the end of the story. There's the use of personification, one of those aged, nocturnal, hackney cabs which only emerge in Paris after dusk, as if ashamed to parade their poverty in the full light of day. There is also use of rhetorical questions. What would she have thought? What would she have said? Would she have concluded she was a thief? What might have happened and had she not lost the necklace? Who could she tell? The structure and form of this particular text is done in the third person perspective or narration, where we see omniscient narrator, but with the story often viewed from Madame Loisel's perspective. Short story form with sequences divined by time: life before the loss of the necklace and life after its loss. There is the use of repetition, for example, unhappy and she dreamed, and of course are repeated frequently to emphasize some key major aspects that the writer wants to bring out. So good students, this marks the end of our text this time round, and I would want to wish you the best in your exams, especially for those ones who are sitting these coming May exams. Good day.